Hi, it's Sylvester, and I'm going to be answering some more random questions. If you notice that throughout the video I keep dabbing my face with this little piece of toilet paper, it's because I popped a pimple and it is bleeding. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry my face is bleeding. I know that's distracting, but it just won't stop bleeding. So here we are, and I know that you're not supposed to pop pimples. I know it can cause scarring. I know it can cause infections. I know it's just bad. You should not pop pimples, but I find it so dang satisfying, and I just love popping my pimples. So what can I say? Anyways, let's start answering some questions. I'm getting these questions from a website called 52 Prompts. First question is, if you could live in another historical period, would you? If so, which one? I would not like to live in any period prior to this one because I am a trans man, and even though things aren't great for trans people right now, I do still think that this is the best time in history to be trans. Being trans, even just 30, 40 years ago, would have been, I feel like, much more challenging. Just, I don't really have any interest in living in any time period other than this current one, unless the question asks, is like, maybe I could live in the future. I mean, actually, I don't want to live in the future because I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know what the future has in store, so maybe things will be worse in the future. I don't know. But if I could just like visit a different time period, I would just go 50 years in the future and just see how the world has changed. But again, I wouldn't want to live there because I wouldn't know what I'm getting myself into. Anyways, next question. If you could bring back any fashion trend, what would it be? I love leg warmers, although those have kind of made a return. I've seen more and more leg warmers. I love like the not armbands, arm warmers, I guess is what they're called. From my emo days back in high school. I didn't really dress emo, but I was emo on the inside, and I really liked wearing arm warmers. Those are cool. Let's bring those back. What else? I like fingerless gloves. I don't know. Those are still kind of in style. I really don't. I make a number of fashion videos, but I don't actually know that much about fashion. I just kind of go. I like fashion. I enjoy looking at clothing and stuff, but I'm not very knowledgeable. Like I just kind of go with what feels right and what I like, not based on what fashion rules exist around me. Like I just let my heart guide me in terms of the things I like fashion wise. What other, cute little animal ears. I think that everybody in the world should wear cute little animal ears. Maybe not everybody in the world, but like, if you want to and if it makes you feel cute, I think there should be less stigma around wearing cute little animal ears. But that's not the fashion trend that I'd be bringing back, because as far as I'm aware, there's never been a time where wearing animal ears has been the fashionable thing to do. But I think it should be. I think it should be a lot more acceptable to wear animal ears because they're cute, and I don't know, I like seeing people wear cute little animal ears. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know. The next question. I'm sure I'm gonna think of other things after I post this video. I like making these videos because it feels like I'm being interviewed, and that makes me feel like special and important, to think that people want to hear what I have to say. Like I'm a celebrity being interviewed for a magazine or like on a late night show or something. But it also is very anxiety inducing because I feel like I'm being interviewed. And so I feel like I'm going to say something stupid, and then I'll post the video, and then I'll look back on it and think of a much better answer and be like, damn it, I should have said that. So as per usual, if I think of something that I think we should bring back in terms of fashion, I will leave it in the comments down below. It's always a good idea on my videos to check the comments to see if I've written anything down there, because oftentimes I will make videos and then think of something better to say afterwards, or think of something that I should have said, or want to correct myself or whatever. So anyways, next question. What skill do you think everyone should have? I don't know if it's a skill, but just like basic human decency and just kindness and compassion. I guess compassion is a skill. Some people don't just naturally possess the ability to be kind and to treat others with respect, and it's something that, like, even I struggle with that. Like I'm sitting here acting like I'm some super compassionate person who's judging other people for not being kind enough, but there are definitely times when I should be kinder, and when I lack compassion. And so it is something that I do think, I think it is a skill. I think being nice is a skill, and it's a skill that I hope to continue to get better at. Next question. If you could be in any movie, what would it be? Fight Club, obviously. I would want to play... I mean, because the movie's so good that I feel like if I was in it, and like if I was a background character, or like a character who had a very small part, I think that would be good. Like, I could be Meatloaf's character. I could be Big Bob. Like, I mean, it is a little, wearing a fat suit is kind of problematic, because there are lots of, plus size actors. And I am fat. Don't get me wrong, I'm fat, but I don't think I'm as big as Big Bob. Plus, Big Bob had like large breasts, because it's this whole thing. Because he whatever. Just watch the movie. The big breasts are explained, but so I don't know if it would be problematic if I wore fake large boobs. I don't know if they'd be able to find a male actor who had naturally large breasts, unless it was a transgender actor, a trans man, or a trans masculine person who hadn't had chest surgery. But anyways, I'm overthinking this. I am definitely overthinking this. I would love to have played the main character, the narrator, in Fight Club. I would never dare to be Tyler Durden. Brad Pitt did a perfect job. I could never do better than that. I don't think I'm a better actor than Edward Norton. He did a fantastic job. But it would be really cool if I had been the narrator in Fight Club. I don't know if the movie would have been as good, but, like I said, Edward Norton did a really good job. So for the sake of not ruining the movie, I would just be a background character. I'd just be like one of the men in Fight Club who's on screen for like maybe less than a minute. I'm just like in the background as Tyler Durden's giving one of his speeches. I'm just like over his shoulder behind him somewhere, Anyways, I'm spending too much time on this question. Next question. Would you rather never hear music again or lose the ability to read? As much as I love music, this is an easy one for me. I feel like I need to be able to read just to function in everyday life. I feel like the world would be navigating the world and living my life would just be a lot more difficult if I didn't have the ability to read. Whereas never hearing music again, I don't think that's really going to impede my ability to live you know what I mean? Like you don't realize how much you read in a day, I feel like, but reading is very important. I would definitely give up music, but it would be difficult because I really do enjoy music. Next question. If you had to put together a PowerPoint presentation about anything, what would it be about? Probably Fight Club. What can I say? I'm predictable. Next question. What's something that always gives you childlike joy? Fight Club. The show Reboot. I didn't love my childhood. It's not that I had a particularly difficult or traumatic childhood. It's just that I was very depressed and undiagnosed, and I just was a very miserable kid. Like, I don't know if that's the impression that other people had of me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it was obvious to other people how depressed I was, but I was just very miserable all the time, and I don't. It's not that I don't have a lot of good memories from my childhood. It's just that if you ask me if I wanted to return to my childhood, I'd say no, because I just did not have a good time, unless I'd be able to do it over again, but with like therapy and medications. I don't even know if kids that young are allowed to be on antidepressants, but damn, I needed them. That is for sure. So I don't know. But I do find comfort in things that remind me of my childhood. Things like the show Reboot and the band Prozac and Bratz dolls and, stuff like that. But to answer the question, I'm going to say the show Reboot. It does fill me with joy. It's been a little while since I've watched it. Maybe I should rewatch Reboot. Next question. What is your favorite sport to watch and why? I have answered very versions of this question in the past. I am not a sports guy. I do not enjoy watching sports. If I had to watch any sports, it would probably be baseball just because I don't know. I like baseball better than I like most other sports. So I don't know. I don't like watching sports. Next question. What's the worst song ever? Oh wait, unless you count esports, gaming. If you count gaming as sports, I do watch gaming videos, like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, and I mean I don't watch a lot of it, but I went through phases where I watched a lot of MySkirm and Lord Minion 777, I think is what his channel is called. Wade, Markiplier's friend Wade. I went through a phase where I watched a lot of Wade's videos, but I don't. I don't really watch traditional sports. So, what is the worst song ever? Oh, there's a lot of songs that I just don't like. Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne. I just really don't like that song. Lady Gaga's new song. I love Lady Gaga. I have a Lady Gaga tattoo. I really, really like Lady Gaga, but her newest song, Abracadabra, 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 it's just so stupid. I hate it. I wouldn't say it's the worst song ever, but it's not good. I don't know. A lot of people seem to really like it, so I'm sorry. If you like that song, you're valid. Your opinion is valid. It's fine. It's just not for me. Something about the chorus, abracadabra, abracadabra, it makes me want to gouge my own eyes out. It's so stupid. I don't know, but it gets stuck in my head, and I hate it because I'm just oh my god, can I get this stupid song out of my head? I'm trying to think because there have been a number of songs that people have really liked, but I just couldn't understand why people like them. Like the song "Girlfriend" by Avril Lavigne. I think that song's just so dumb. I don't know. I don't like it. It's I don't know. But again, this is one of these questions where after I post the video, a song's gonna come to mind, and I'm gonna be like, oh my god, that's the worst song ever. And then I'll leave it in the comments down below. But right now my mind is blanking, so I'm just going to say Abracadabra by Lady Gaga. Next, would you rather never hear me... Oh, I've gotten that question already. Next question. What fictional family would you most like to join? I just straight up don't have an answer to this question. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm happy with the family that I have, frankly. Next is if you could bring back any fashion trend. I've gotten this question already. Next question. What do you think cavemen dreamt about? They probably had nightmares about being attacked by wild animals or dying of infections. I imagine that a lot of people died of infections because there are no antibiotics or like anything like that back in the day. So they probably had a lot of nightmares about stuff that would kill them, and they probably dreamed about, I don't know, sex and good food. I don't know. Next question. What movie title best describes your life? This is another one where my mind is blanking, but later I'm gonna think of something and be like, oh, that would have been a perfect answer. What movie title? I'm like, I can't even think of any movies right now other than Fight Club. A series of unfortunate events. I know that that's a book series, not primarily a movie, but it was a movie, so I'm going with that. Next question. Is cereal soup? I think cereal is a type of soup, or maybe soup is a type of cereal, if you think about it that way. No, I think cereal is a type of soup. I think cereal makes more sense as a soup than soup does as a cereal, if that makes any sense. I don't know why this makes sense to me, but this is just how my brain works. So, yes, cereal is soup. Next question. What's the best concert you ever attended? Hands down, maybe not hands down. I've only attended a couple concerts, and they were all really great, actually. I went to a George Watsky concert in university, and that was so fun, so awesome, and like, but then I also went to an Aerosmith concert that was like, I'm not a huge fan of Aerosmith, but it was really, really entertaining. I had a really good time, and I was there with my mom and my sister, and we had a really good time. But I think the best concert I ever went to was a Matchbox 20 concert with my mom, because her and I both really love the band Matchbox 20. I've heard every single Matchbox 20 song, and I love most of Matchbox 20 songs. Even the songs I don't like that much, I still think are good. It's just like, it was a really magical experience because I was there singing every word, and it was just so lovely to see a band that I've admired for so long. I just really like their lyrics, and their music just really speaks to me. The album Yourself or Someone Like You is, in my opinion, the greatest album to have ever been made. I love every single song on it. It's just so good. Perfect album. Next question. If you could live with any fictional character, who would it be? I'm going to say Sam Winchester. As I've gotten older, I've grown to like Dean a little bit more. It's not that I didn't like Dean in high school, it's just that Sam is like soft and sensitive. And that was the kind of person that I was into at the time. I really like the soft, sensitive dudes. But, Dean is witty, and he's kind of irreverent, and he's kind of just like, he doesn't take anything too seriously, and there is something about that appeals to me more as I've gotten older. But I'm gonna have to stay I'm gonna have to stay faithful to Sam. I'm gonna have to be loyal because I've always been a Sam boy, and so I'm gonna choose Sam Winchester. Next question. If you had to teach a class on one thing, what would you teach? I would never want to be a teacher. I don't have the patience to teach people, regardless of how old they are. Like, small children, I feel like I don't have the patience to deal with. I mean, I'm good around children. It's just trying to teach an entire class of children, I feel like would be really frustrating. Teenagers are even worse, potentially. I remember being a teenager, and I remember some teenagers were just a lot, they were people that I definitely wouldn't want to be my students. And even like university, I feel like it'd be too difficult to handle people. I guess maybe university would be the best case scenario, because unlike high school and elementary school, you're not really being forced to be there. So everybody who's attending your class is there because they don't want to be there, but they're a little bit more enthusiastic about being there because they're paying to be there rather than being forced to be there. So I feel like if I had to teach any, this isn't what the question is. If I had to teach any class, it would be drama class. Drama was my favorite class in high school. I loved it so very much. But I do know that there were some students who only took drama class because they thought it would be an easy credit. They thought they didn't have to try, and they were too cool to participate in the activities. And like, nothing ruins a drama class more than having students in it who just really don't want to be there, or who just don't vibe with it. You know, they're just not putting any effort into it, and it just kind of ruins it for everyone. So again, I would never want to teach a high school class. I'd never want to teach teenagers because they can be a bit difficult to deal with. I felt bad for my drama teacher a couple of times with some of the students in my drama class who, again, just weren't very receptive to being taught. Yeah, anyways, I've spent too long on this question. Next question. If people came with a warning tag, what would yours be? I think just like socially awkward. I feel like people don't understand how socially awkward I am because I do a fairly good job of masking my social anxiety, and when I talk to people I seem normal. But like I just want people to know that it takes a lot of effort for me to pretend that I'm normal. Like, it's just, I'm trying really hard, and I'm really anxious and scared I'm gonna say something stupid or that you're going to judge me. So yeah, next question. If you were an action figure, what two accessories would you come with? If we're being realistic, it would be a camera because I film a lot of videos, and a laptop because I spend a lot of time on my laptop. But those, I don't know, those feel like kind of boring answers. I feel like I should come with a weapon of some sort, like a sword or something. That's not really accurate to who I am. Like, I don't go around, I don't even own a sword. So, yeah, I guess it'd just be, or like a little pair of animal ears. That'd be cute. And maybe what, I don't know, what objects define me. I guess like a little cat. You know, I don't have a cat anymore, but I'm definitely I like cats a lot, so I have like a little cat that comes with me. But I mean, I don't think you can count pets as accessories, really. It's kind of problematic to call a cat an accessory, but I don't know. I don't know. Moving on. What book would you like to live in? I don't really want to live in any books, if I'm being honest. I guess The Wind in the Willows. That seemed like a pretty pleasant world to live in. It's been a while since I read that book, but it was very comforting. I really liked it a lot. Next question. What would you do if you had a fully paid year-long break from work? Same thing that I'm doing now. I am unemployed, and so technically this is a fully paid break from work because I'm on disability support. So, all right, I'm gonna answer, I think, 2 more questions. What simple thing still blows your mind? Mental illness? That's not really simple. Mental illness is anything but simple, but just the idea that brains can just glitch. You know, like, I experienced psychosis. I started hallucinating. Like, my brain just broke. And, like, it's simple enough to think about, like, yeah, I guess that's something that happens. Sometimes people's brains just kind of malfunction and they start hearing voices and stuff. But, like, when you actually stop to think about how crazy that is, like, my brain started malfunctioning. My brain betrayed me. My own brain just suddenly decided to go completely haywire one day. Like that's insane. But again, I guess it's not really a simple thing that blows my mind. I guess the internet, but again, the internet's not simple either. the internet's complicated, but just the idea that internet exists, it's magic. Like it blows my mind. But again, I can't really think of a simple thing. All right, I'm gonna answer one more question. What's one thing your parents or guardians constantly nagged you about? I grew up in a very chill environment. My mom raised me. I mean, my dad was around, but I don't think no offense, dad, but like he didn't do a lot of the work in terms of raising me. He wasn't really around that much. And my parents separated when I was around 13, and so he was in my life a lot less after that. And he just, like, when I think of who raised me, it's mostly my mom. My dad, like I said, he was there, but I was raised by my mom, and she was just a really chill, cool mom. She didn't really force me to do stuff. In fact, if you ask my dad, I feel like he would say that my mom should have nagged me more. Like, she should have made my sister and I do chores, because we never had to. Like I said, it was a very chill environment. I was a pretty spoiled kid. I never had to do the dishes. I never had to vacuum. I never had to walk the dog. I never had to even clean my bedroom. My mom would clean my bedroom for me when I was at school. Like, I didn't really have to do anything. And so my dad, I don't remember if this is true, but I have a vague memory of him kind of nagging my mom for not forcing my sister and I to do the chores. And looking back, I feel guilty about how much my mom had to do. Like, not only did she have to work to provide food and clothes for us, but she also had to clean the house and take care of the dog and the cat. And like, my mom put in a lot of work. She's a very, very hard worker, and she worked very hard to, maintain a good home for my sister and I. And my sister and I, we really should have helped out more. We should have done the dishes more, and we should have walked the dog for her, and we should have, done all these things, but we didn't have to. She didn't make us, so generally we didn't. And I think I still turned out okay. I mean, I'm a little bit lazy. I will admit, I'm a pretty lazy guy. I'm not a super hard worker, and maybe I would have been a harder worker if my mom had forced me to do chores growing up. I don't know. But I am a very clean person. Like, I have no problems. I mean, I wouldn't say I have no problems, because, like, life is hard. But I have, I don't struggle that much to keep my apartment clean. Like, I keep my apartment very, very clean. I do the dishes, I do the laundry, I vacuum, I take care of the place. So not having to do chores growing up doesn't mean that I don't know how to do chores as an adult, or that I don't do the chores as an adult. Like you would think that if I grew up in a home where I never had to do any chores, I'd be an adult who just lived in my own mess all the time and just never cleaned anything, because I just like never had to do it when I was a kid. But that's not what happened. Because I got used to living in a clean environment. My mom was really good at keeping the house clean and tidy, and so as an adult, I want to live in that environment, the one that I became used to as a child. So I would not be able to function if my house were to be unclean and untidy. Like, if I had piles of dishes in the sink that hadn't been done for days, or if I had laundry piling up that hasn't been done for weeks, like, that would drive me crazy, So again, just because I didn't do chores as a kid doesn't mean I don't do chores as an adult. I think I turned out okay. But I do agree with my dad and think that my sister and I should have helped out with the chores at least a little bit more than we did, because, yeah, I just feel bad for all the work that my mom had to do. So, but yeah, she was just a really chill mom, and she wanted us to have a good childhoods. She wanted us to enjoy ourselves and to not have to spend our time doing things that we didn't want to be doing, like doing chores and stuff. And like, she was a very considerate and really good mom, and I do appreciate the things that she did for me and my sister. And like, I didn't always appreciate it when I was a kid, like coming home to find that my room had been cleaned while I was at school. Like I didn't realize how much work that took. I didn't realize like how much time and effort my mom put into making sure that we lived in a nice, clean, tidy home. And so yeah, I appreciate you, Mom. Thank you for taking care of me so well, and thank you for not forcing me to do chores when I was a kid. I do appreciate it, and thank you for how hard you worked and continue to work. Especially now as an adult, I realize just how much time and effort chores take. Like keeping my apartment clean is basically a full-time job, it feels like sometimes. Like, so the fact that she did that on top of raising children and working, it was just, my mom's a super, she's a superhero. Like, she's amazing. She's wonderful. So anyways, that is all. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Stay frosty. Bye.